Enzo Ferrari was the god of racing. He built the fastest cars, he won the biggest races, and he had an ego larger than Italy itself. On the other hand, Ferruccio Lamborghini was just a farmer, a mechanic who became rich making tractors. He knew everything about mud, but nothing about speed. But one day, the tractor driver walked into the race car driver's office to complain about a broken clutch. Enzo laughed in his face and said, "You were just a tractor driver. You know nothing about sports cars. Go back to your farm." That was the biggest mistake of Enzo Ferrari's life, because that day, he didn't just insult a customer, he created his worst enemy. This is the story of the ultimate revenge. To understand this war, we have to go back to another war, World War II. While Enzo Ferrari was already a racing celebrity in Italy, Ferruccio Lamborghini was on the island of Rhodes working as a mechanic for the Italian Air Force. He wasn't a soldier, he was a wizard with machines. He could fix anything with a wrench and a piece of wire. He learned one crucial lesson during the war: how to take scrap metal and turn it into gold. When the war ended, Italy was broken. Farmers needed machines to rebuild the country, but there were no factories. Ferruccio saw an opportunity. He began buying cheap leftover military vehicles and transforming them into tractors. It was ugly work, but it was brilliant. His tractors were powerful, reliable, and cheap. Within a few years, Lamborghini Trattori became one of the biggest agricultural companies in Italy. By the late 1950s, the tractor driver had become a tycoon. He had everything a man could dream of: money, fame, and a love for fast cars. He bought Jaguars, Mercedes, Maseratis, and finally, he bought the crown jewel of Italy, a Ferrari. In fact, he didn't just buy one, he bought three. While Ferruccio was building tractors, Enzo Ferrari was building a religion. He didn't care about comfort, he didn't care about his customers. He only cared about one thing: winning races. Enzo famously said, "I don't sell cars, I sell engines. The bodywork is just something I give away for free to hold the engine in." Buying a Ferrari in the 1960s was a status symbol, but driving one? That was a nightmare. They were loud, rough, and unreliable. Ferruccio Lamborghini loved the speed of his Ferrari 250 GT, but he hated the mechanics. The clutch was garbage. It would slip, burn out, and break down constantly. For a mechanical genius like Ferruccio, this was unacceptable. He was spending a fortune fixing a car that was supposed to be the best in the world. One day, after the clutch broke for the fourth time, Ferruccio decided to fix it himself. He took the transmission apart in his tractor factory. What he found inside made his blood boil. He pulled out the broken clutch and realized something shocking. It was the exact same clutch he used in his own tractors. The only difference, Ferruccio paid 10 lire for this part. Ferrari was charging him 1,000 lire for the same piece of junk just because it was inside a red car. Ferruccio felt cheated. He realized that the great Enzo Ferrari was cutting corners, and being a wealthy, proud Italian, he wasn't going to stay quiet about it. He drove straight to Maranello, the headquarters of Ferrari. He demanded a meeting with Il Commendatore, Enzo Ferrari himself. Normally, Enzo wouldn't meet with customers. He considered them a nuisance, but Ferruccio was a prominent industrialist, so Enzo agreed to see him. It was a meeting that would change automotive history. Ferruccio didn't hold back. He told Enzo, "Your cars are garbage. I build tractors with better parts than you put in your sports cars." The room went silent. No one spoke to Enzo Ferrari like that. Enzo slowly took off his sunglasses, looked at the short, stocky farmer standing in front of him, and delivered the insult that would haunt him forever. "The problem is not with the car, Ferruccio. The problem is with the driver. You may be able to drive a tractor, but you will never be able to handle a Ferrari properly. Go back to your farm." Ferruccio stormed out of the office. Most men would have been humiliated. Most men would have gone home and sold their Ferrari. But Ferruccio Lamborghini wasn't most men. As he drove back to his factory, a crazy idea formed in his mind. Enzo was right about one thing. Ferruccio was a tractor maker, but he was also a mechanic who had just been challenged. That night, he gathered his family and engineers. He told them, "I'm going to build a car that is faster, better, and more reliable than anything Enzo Ferrari can ever dream of. I will build the perfect GT car." His accountants told him he was crazy. "You'll go bankrupt," they screamed. "Ferrari is a god. You can't beat him." Ferruccio lit a cigarette, smiled, and said, "Watch me."
Building a car company from scratch is impossible. Building one to beat Ferrari in just a few months? That's insanity. But Ferruccio knew he couldn't do it alone. He needed the best brains in Italy. And where could he find them? Ironically, he found them at Ferrari. A year earlier, Enzo Ferrari had fired his top engineers in a fit of rage, an event known as the Palace Coup. Among them was Giotto Bizzarini, the man who had built the legendary Ferrari 250 GTO. Ferruccio hired him immediately. He gave Bizzarini a simple challenge: make me a V12, but not just any engine. It has to be bigger, louder, and faster than Ferrari's. He offered Bizzarini a bonus for every single horsepower the engine produced over Ferrari's engine. The result was a masterpiece. Bizzarini designed a V12 engine that produced 360 horsepower, far more than anything Ferrari had on the road. The heart of the beast was ready. Now they needed a body.
The deadline was the 1963 Turin Auto Show. They had only 4 months to build the car. The team worked day and night, sleeping on the factory floor. Finally, the day arrived. The Lamborghini 350 GTV was unveiled to the world. It was sleek, modern, and beautiful. The press loved it. Even Enzo Ferrari was reportedly nervous. But there was a secret that Ferruccio didn't tell anyone that day. Because of a design error, the massive V12 engine didn't actually fit under the hood. So what did he do? Ferruccio filled the engine bay with ceramic tiles and bricks to give the car the right weight, and then he kept the hood glued shut. He stood next to the car all day, smiling and telling reporters, "Sorry, we lost the key to the hood." It was a brilliant lie, but it bought him enough time to fix the car for production. If the 350 GT was a jab at Ferrari, the next car was a knockout punch. In 1966, Lamborghini unveiled the Miura. Before the Miura, sports cars had engines in the front, but Lamborghini's young engineers asked, "Why don't we put the engine in the middle, like a race car?" It was risky, it was radical, and it was the most beautiful car the world had ever seen. The Miura was officially the first supercar. It broke the world speed record for a production car. Enzo Ferrari was furious. He looked at his own cars, which suddenly looked old-fashioned and boring compared to the sexy mid-engine Lamborghini. The tractor driver hadn't just beaten him, he had changed the rules of the game forever. But every empire has its fall. By the 1970s, the world changed. The oil crisis hit, and suddenly no one wanted gas-guzzling supercars. At the same time, Ferruccio's tractor business faced a massive financial crisis after a canceled order from the Bolivian government. Ferruccio was losing money fast. He had to make a choice: save his pride or save his legacy. In 1974, just 11 years after starting the company, Ferruccio Lamborghini sold his remaining stake and walked away. He retired to a quiet life at his vineyard in Umbria, leaving the car world behind. He never built another car, but he had done what he set out to do. Today, Lamborghini is owned by Audi and Ferrari is a public giant. But the war started by an insult continues on every street and racetrack in the world. Some say Enzo Ferrari did the world a favor by being rude that day, because if he had just been polite, if he had just fixed that clutch, we would never have the Lamborghini. Ferruccio proved that you don't need a pedigree to build a legend. You just need vision, determination, and a little bit of anger. As he once said, "I never planned to get into the automobile industry, but I knew a better car could be built." So, whose side are you on? The prancing horse or the raging bull? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.